Doncic is getting the Supermax deal, and that, of course, is obvious. What Luka has accomplished before the age of 23, simply sensational. It's not hyperbole to call it a legendary, borderline unprecedented start to an NBA career 3 years in. You easily hand Luka a 5-year extension worth $207 million, and if you're Dallas, you sleep like a baby. Luka and Kevin Durant are the only two players in NBA history to make first-team All-NBA twice before the age of 23. He's special, he's sensational, and he's just getting started. Luka's numbers and clutch play, they're absolutely off the charts. He can do it all, and literally, he does. But that's what scares me a little bit, big picture, because you see the numbers, the points, the rebounds, the assists, the three-point percentage, field goal percentage. Luka's unreal, but right now I can't guarantee that Luka Doncic is going to win a title during the duration of this contract, because I have major questions about the organization. I didn't like the Jason Kidd hire at all. Kristaps Porzingis flunked miserably as Luka's wingman. The Lakers, the Suns, the Jazz, the Nuggets, Clippers with a healthy Kawhi, all currently light years ahead. The West in general is loaded. Now, we know to never count out Luka. With the contract, there's pressure, right? And look, at the end of the day, and this is important here, you don't hear the haters ripping the Hawks anymore for picking Trae Young over Luka Doncic. This after Trae Young carried Atlanta this postseason. And I love Trae Young, you know that I do, but Luka Doncic is clearly the better player. Thus, it's go time. The expectation is to be historic and advance deep in the playoffs, winning at least one championship in Dallas, a la Dirk Nowitzki. Fair or unfair, anything less will be a Texas-sized disappointment. Saquon Barkley's off the PUP list and practicing with the Giants for the first time this summer, and it's only kind of everything. Barkley, when healthy, is majestic. Of all the injured players coming back this year, he's the cat I want to see return to the field the most. The NFL is a much better place when Saquon Barkley is breaking off gorgeous runs. But there's still doubt about Saquon being ready for Week 1 against the Broncos, coming off of the torn ACL he suffered last September. And entering year 4, Saquon Barkley has never made the postseason, hasn't been close. And sadly, let's call it like it is, he's been injury prone. 2018 feels like a lifetime ago, and this is why we begged the Giants not to draft a running back over a quarterback or an offensive lineman with the second overall pick in the NFL draft. A healthy Barkley certainly this year would change the entire feel of the New York Football Giants, but sadly, either way, they still have Daniel Jones at quarterback. Jones just doesn't have the goods. As you know, we hated this pick when it was made 6th overall in 2019. Jones was erratic last season, and sure, being fair, didn't have Saquon, but now he has Barkley back. And the Giants did a heck of a job beefing up the wide receiving core in the draft and free agency. And I really like Joe Judge, but it's impossible to endorse the New York Football Giants as a playoff squad when the stud running back can't stay on the field and the quarterback, simply put, cannot throw to the right team. During the course of 162 games, you look for signs. You look for signs of greatness for a baseball team that will carry over into the postseason. I would be stunned if any team in the American League beats the Chicago White Sox this postseason. The Chicago White Sox truly have everything, and now they have help. Luis Robert and Eloy Jimenez are back, and they're flat out raking. Jimenez had 2 home runs last night, becoming the first White Sox player with consecutive games of 2 homers and 5 RBI. That's now 5 homers and 14 RBI for Eloy in his 10 games since his return from the injured list. He had missed every previous game this season, this after rupturing a pectoral tendon in spring training. And how about the pitching? Lucas Giolito with another gem for the White Sox last night. And the pitching has been consistently terrific all year. That's a harbinger of things to come in October. And Craig Kimbrell joining Liam Hendricks at the back end of the bullpen. Chicago is going to power teams in the postseason with their power bats and their power arms in the rotation. And then, bam, slam the door shut. This team is so much fun to watch. They're incredible. They're amazing. They lead the league in fun. No team is more dominant and built for success in the American League postseason like the Chicago White Sox. Baker Mayfield talking about the historic Josh Allen contract extension. So how will that impact upcoming deals for fellow 2018 draft mates in Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson? Let's talk this out together. First and foremost, if you were ranking the three, and we have, Josh Allen is clearly better than Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson. There's that. I don't think Baker Mayfield has a leg to stand on here in asking Cleveland for Josh Allen money. You know, Josh Allen's contract maxes out at $258 million. I mean, look at Baker Mayfield's numbers in 2020. They're not even close to what Josh Allen did. He threw for 1,000 more yards and 10 more touchdowns. And on a team where it was all pass first for Buffalo, he only had 2 more interceptions. I mean, Josh Allen was a legit top 3 candidate for league MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. And understand, I like Baker Mayfield. I like Baker Mayfield a lot. I think Baker Mayfield should be paid a lot of money, and Cleveland, Andrew Berry, the brilliant general manager, and Kevin Stefanski, the outstanding head coach, they clearly believe in Baker Mayfield. And obviously you saw some of the numbers that were shaky. You know, that's when you had Freddie Kitchens, and that was a disaster and a debacle and the easiest first guess in the history of Time to Shine. I mean, that was just awful. And, you know, Baker's had a lot of ups and downs and different coordinators and head coaches and executives. And last year he had stability, and he was excellent down the stretch. Dominated against Tennessee, won a playoff game. I believe the Cleveland Browns could win a Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield as the quarterback, but he's not on the level of Josh Allen, so he can't ask for that kind of contract. This is still a team, and you talk Super Bowl, it starts with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, the offensive line, and the running attack. The defense with Myles Garrett is great, and then you get around to Baker Mayfield. So Baker's going to get paid. Baker's going to get extended, but he's on planet delusional if he thinks he deserves or will get Josh Allen money. Then you have Lamar Jackson, and this is interesting here because Lamar Jackson, I mean, again, if you're ranking it, it's Allen 1, Jackson 2, Baker 3. I love Lamar Jackson. That's well documented on Time to Shine. Lamar Jackson has won an MVP. He's a majestic ball player. I also think, for the sake of fairness and conversation, you have Lamar Jackson talking to the press about how he has not been vaccinated. And he has come down with COVID twice. So there's an availability question. And it's very difficult to give Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen money if there's going to be an issue in terms of missing time and missing games because he's a close contact with regards to the protocols for COVID and everything that goes into that equation for 2021. Look, I think Lamar Jackson, the Ravens love him. He will eventually get his money. They beefed up brilliantly the wide receiver position in the offseason. Look, the owner's amazing in Baltimore. The GM's amazing in Baltimore. The head coach is amazing in Baltimore. And I believe the Baltimore Ravens will be in the mix for the Super Bowl this year. And certainly Lamar Jackson, you can easily see him at some point throughout the course of a contract and an extension hoisting Lombardi's trophy. But listen, I think Josh Allen is more dominant. I think Josh Allen is a better player, a better thrower of the football, and he's become more accurate. Jackson's close, and he's been an MVP, and he's been dynamite. But I do think the fact that he has not had the COVID-19 vaccine, that is something that's going to impact him, right, wrong, or indifferent. And I support this. If this is the case for Baltimore, that is going to impact him. Tough to give him $150 million guaranteed if there are going to be availability questions and leadership questions for the Baltimore Ravens quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks, will Tua Tagovailoa take a step forward in year number 2? Let's talk this out together. The answer is yes. And he knows it, and he feels the pressure. There's no doubt about it. He knows it's go time. Sensational read, Judy Battista, the great Judy Battista on NFL.com, about Tua and the expectations for this upcoming year. And remember, when Tua was on my SiriusXM radio show week of the Super Bowl, in the interview that was sweeping the nation, he called his rookie season below average. And you see the numbers on the screen, you know what I say? These are typical numbers. The problem, you have a guy like Justin Herbert, who we begged Miami to pick. You know, he had one of the greatest seasons, if not the greatest season ever in the history of the NFL for a rookie at the quarterback position. Well, it's go time in Miami, and this is a huge year for Tua. Love what they did with Waddle and Fuller in the offseason. Parker's a stud. I am concerned about their inability to run the ball and protect Tua in that regard and help him out. That certainly bothered me in the offseason. You know, I was on record. I thought they should have picked a running back in the first round in the NFL draft, but I'm a huge fan of Tua Tagovailoa. Look, I know he's not going to make excuses, but, you know, he was coming off of major surgery at Alabama, you know, had to deal with the NFL draft, rookie season with no preseason games in the middle of a pandemic. And, you know, I thought the rookie season was normal, not terrible. I thought it was normal. I'm expecting greatness from Tua Tagovailoa. I'm expecting the postseason. And if we don't get a combination of the two, then we'll talk about a different quarterback in Miami. But I'm predicting big things for Tua and Miami this season. We touched on the ongoing Michael Thomas Saints drama on yesterday's sizzling edition of Time to Shine. So, should the New Orleans Saints trade Michael Thomas? Let's talk this out together. Absolutely. And I know that the number crunchers are going to sit here and tell me that if they do the Saints cap hit, it's going to be $9.1 million dead cap money this season. And the same number crunchers are going to tell me it's going to be $22.7 million dead cap charge in 2022. But if you're Urban Meyer and you know you can get the Offensive Player of the Year in 2019, and this is not a random arbitrary fit, we're talking about Urban Meyer, who coached Michael Thomas at Ohio State. C.J. Henderson, the cornerback, is reportedly available with the Lattimore situation in New Orleans. Henderson makes a ton of sense for the New Orleans Saints. So I think you could also work out some draft pick compensation. Listen, you get the sense that the Saints can't stand Michael Thomas. They probably regret that contract. I know that they do. Well, they probably wish they just would have franchised him. 2019 was majestic. 2020, he was injured. Then you read the Jeff Duncan report in the New Orleans Times Picayune over the weekend. Saints couldn't even get in touch with him over the offseason, had the surgery laid. It's over. The only question is when. He's infuriated everyone. And honestly, he has completely, Michael Thomas has, derailed the New Orleans Saints 2021 campaign.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.